Well, this was a surprise. I was not expecting Pilgrimage Part 2 to actually start this week, but in all honesty, it does make sense. There is nothing else going on this week. Arcade is on its last week for the event, for people to just clear out the shop and everything. And I was expecting something. I wasn't expecting this. I thought maybe we'd get Advanced Quest. We haven't gotten that in like 2 months. Oh well. We are talking about the OG Nobu, who actually finally is available for so many people in the game. That's number one. The other thing, they gave out buffs. Like, that's 10 buffs in a month, which for FGO is crazy, especially because it's not even all of the buffs in like a week. They've given it out like over the course of 3 weeks, like 10 buffs. So good on them for that. Are they the best buffs? We'll get into that. Nobu's at least is good. That's why I'm covering Nobu today. Even though the wiki is not finish updating. We'll get to there in a second. I got Keldea or Atlas up there. So we have the OG Nobu. The one from the first Guda Guda event all the way back when. Melancholia art or for this last one. Like, it actually doesn't fit Nobu's personality. Like, this calm, serene picture doesn't. Like, I want to say Nobu's building a bomb. No, like, we can't see her hands. I want to say she's building a bomb somewhere in this background. That would make more sense. Also drawn by Paco. That's why it's actual artwork. Man attribute. Base attack, 9.5k. I'm surprised the welfare had this much base attack. They tend to give them. HP, also decent. Like, this isn't gimped either. Like, this is actually fairly good. For a 4-star. It's not like, it's not high by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not like anemic, die in one hit. Star weight, star general archer numbers, and be charged at 0.43%, which, again, like, these hit counts, what the fuck? Like, why did like year 1 actually have like servants with like modern hit counts? Like, because these are modern hits. Even the MP gain at 0.43, like that'll say is low. For someone that's not an arts MP and has 4 hits to only have 0.43, that is low. But I mean, she has some. Her first skill literally fixes that, so that's probably why. So, first skill was originally a strategy buff, 30% MP gen for the entire party. Now, that is a good skill, just not something you want on a DPS, because this is Castoria's skill without the batter. Should it have been on a 6-star? No. But the base effect wasn't bad. It just didn't belong in a DPS. So I have to actually go back to this. So here is what they buffed it. They gave her 3 turns Buster buff and 3 turns MP damage. Like, this is what she needed. This is what she needed. Is it the best for her though? Yes, she needed this for damage. Her consistent damage was, if you were an unfortunate schmuck who did not have MP5 Nobu, her damage was like 9,000 MP1. It was bad. Her MP1 damage was so bad, and now it's actually like, I don't want to say like this is amazing, because it's, even at MP1 she's still beaten out by like these 3 stars. But also keep in mind, this Nobu doesn't have buffed MPs. A lot of these do. Like, a Rash has a buffed MP. Sokka doesn't. She's also a 4-star. Kid Gil I don't think has a buffed MP. Might, honestly. But here's where she's at MP5 if you have her, which is a lot more respectable. Go to AoE. 24k base without any modifiers. She's looking good. This is good. This is good damage. MP5 is hitting harder than all these 5 stars. So let's temper our expectations here. That her MP is actually, like, for a welfare, is doing normal damage. She's doing better than her competitors by a long shot, like Osaka Behime. It's actually showing, like, this is what is normal scaling. Yeah, like we're so used to, like, sorry. We're used to seeing higher numbers, but at the same time, these are archers, and, like, their numbers are they're just lower. For some reason, the archer numbers are just lower, even though their damage is ridiculous when they ramp up. Back to what I'm saying. Yeah, so this was the first bit of damage added to Nobu's kit. Sorry for the sidebar. And it's like, it's not even just for her. That's the crazy part. This isn't even selfish. These are party wide. So now this first skill is Buster, MP damage, and MP gain for the entire party. So you don't even need to use Nobu as a DPS. She can be like Esports or something if you really need it. Which, I mean, like, I would take this over like Bedivere. Like, yeah, no, this is actually better than Bedivere. Whoa, wait, actually. Yes, okay. So this is literally a better version of Bedivere's tactics. It is a stronger one. The only difference is Bedivere can have this Bond CE. Oh no. Even with the no. Okay. So even with the Bond CE, like, Nobu's is still better. So yes, for esports, now Nobu has an actual place. And it's funny because if you had Nobu before, now you can make an esports Nobu. And you can keep it level 1 too. Oh my god, that's actually sick. That's a reward for anyone that had an OG Nobu. Now you can make an esports one that's, like, legit. Second skill is 100% divine power mod. It's why damage starts getting ridiculous. And she's doing normal damage, and then she gets a power mod that's literally 100%. Shisho has something similar. Like, this is double damage. You can't say no to, like, pretty much double damage. Third skill, 600% star weight. As an archer, this pretty much guarantees her all the stars. Crit damage, 50% for 3 turns. Her kit looks so much better now. This looks so much better. This looks so much better to have on a welfare servant. Magic resist B, 17.5% debuff resistance. Independent action B for 8% crit damage. She now has servant coins. This is relevant. This is actually relevant for her having the Rider a pen. I'll get into that in a second. But just know, this is... Don't gimp on servant coins and just go for, like, a 120. For, like, I don't know many people that actually want to try the 120 Nobu, but, like, don't go, like, past 100 before you unlock this, because this actually is relevant for damage. Should you get... You're gonna have surplus coins. You're gonna get these, but this is the one that will probably impact you the most. Don't sleep on this. Don't leave this for last. So 10 hit AoE Buster MP Damaged all enemies, unbuffed, which is why her damage is not the best, but it is still acceptable now. Like before, it was like barely passable. Now it is actually good. So she is super effective. I'm gonna be more specific on like what type of buffs these are in the future, because like sometimes I'm not saying the right type. This is super effective damage against anyone that has the riding trait or riding passive. Britomart has the same skill. She has the same thing where she does extra damage against them. Here's the thing. On Britomart, it's awkward because not many archers have the riding passive. There's only 5. But look how many sabers have the riding passive. Look how many fucking sabers have this passive. This looks like almost half of all the sabers, at least. She gets super effective on her MP. Now, how many of these are divine as well? I see 1, 2. Jeremy might, because he's like, I think he's so the god. Altera, I think. Shizuka, I think. Sigurd, maybe. Yeah. So now with this not with the MP buff, with the skill buff, it makes it more legitimate to bring Nobu to fight like these harder sabers, and she'll actually get her super effective. So again, we're looking at MP5 damage here, and this is AoE. This is the AoE damage from just her own kit. That is the craziest part. Just her own kit. And she is blowing these 5-star servants out of the fucking water unless you have them like MP5 or MP3 plus. My MP5 Gilgamesh is not beating her by that many. I mean, granted, my MP Gilgamesh is level 100 and this is level 80 servant, but that should tell you even more that like without getting buffed by Vich, he's only just barely beating out Mount Nobu, or this Nobu, against a saber. That's an MP5 Gilgamesh. Most people do not have an MP5 SSR. So yeah, her damage is actually like good now. Is it the easiest thing to do farming with her? Not particularly, and it is kind of hard to double stack this. Yeah, no, it is. It is hard to double stack this unless you're using an Atlas Mystic Code, and you start with a K-scope. That's pretty much the only way. Like, this is like you have to start with a Rash and then go Mount Nobu to like do the next 2 waves if that's your plan. Like, yeah, she cannot do buster farming normally. You can brute force it as you can with like any unit. You just need a K-scope, because Bitch does not split up batteries. But this is good damage on CE. Party crit damage while she's on the field. Like, I would not be singing praises like this if these were selfish. If she only had this for herself, yeah, like I'd still be saying the same thing because her damage wouldn't change. But these are still AoE. Like, if these were selfish and they were at 20, disappointing because these could have been 30. And then her damage actually would have been stronger than Gilgamesh in most cases, like in the cases where it matters for her. So yeah, I'm not bringing up the tier list, but I am gonna make sure this is, yeah, I have this added already. So I would definitely say she went up at least a tier from this, because this is like, this buff adds so much more utility and damage to her. So remember, these are two 20% buffs that multiply into each other. So close to a mana burst. Close to a mana burst level damage, and she gets these for 3 turns. Like if it was just one for 30%, wouldn't be as much damage increase for MP. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, comment, sub, all that good YouTube stuff. I'm putting this at the end of the video because I'm really bad about selling out mid-video. So, thank you for watching.